tick, 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 tick. I'm here for my chicken.
Have a nice day.
Perfect, thank you. Good morning, you guys. So today we are heading over to Viper Exchange to make a Hellcat, well, very loud. And then after we leave there, I'm sure we will find something fun to do today. I have a few things that we could do today, just kind of time dependent. So let's see how the timing works out. Don't want to get your hopes up, but let's head over to Viper Exchange and meet up with another YouTuber and check out his soon to be extremely loud Hellcat. Dodge is really out here teasing me with this one. So I realized I haven't shown you guys much with the N-Gauge or talked any more about, you know, the headers and the tune and all that fun stuff since we got it installed. So I think that we'll probably talk about that a little bit later in this video. I think that'd be something fun to talk about. And I've got a lot of new kind of information and stuff. And as you can see there, we are on technically 26.7. So I put some 93 in last night to get me to Houston from San Antonio. But either tonight or tomorrow, we're going back on full E85 in this thing. So I'll probably try to film that as well. And I need to get some data logs for Lund Racing so they can make sure we're all good to go. But with that said, this car is running absolutely perfectly so far. I did a couple pulls last 2 days ago on like an E85 mix. It was like E70 and it moved out. So I'm really, really excited to get it on its like actual E85 tune with pure E85. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, let's go to Viper Exchange. Oh, you fancy.
What's up, man?
Mr. Uzumaki. What's happening, man?
A little bit of everything.
We ready to make your car super stupid loud?
Yes. I'm very overly anxious to make that happen.
It's been a long time coming.
Oh yeah. And then also to make it super quiet because my neighbors hate me right now. I can guarantee you, they hate me.
Oh, I bet.
How you doing?
You're doing good, man. Car looks great.
Thank you. Thank you. I
So-
apologize for being late. Man.
No, all good, man. Stopped and got some Chick-fil-A, all is well. So for those of you who do not know, this is Mr. Uzumaki. He is the first person that was crazy enough to let me review his Hellcat back when they were like brand spanking new. And not only that, his car is also a 6-speed manual. So this was my first ever taste of driving a Hellcat, was this exact car. So I'm really grateful that he gave me that opportunity. And then recently he hit me up on Instagram and asked me if I wanted to be a part of this video idea that he had, and which we'll get into this video. But I think you guys should really like it. But overall, he went with the Dukes of Hazzard theme there with the numbers and then the red-eye hood. I mean, his car is so nice. It's on bags now. So he's done a lot since it was first featured on the channel when it was in bone stock form. So just an amazing looking car. You did great with it.
Thank you.
And today it's gonna be sounding the part to match the looks. So as I said before, guys, we are at Viper Exchange in Tomball, Texas. So basically this is once was like the #1 Viper dealership, and possibly it still is in the whole entire country. And they also do a bunch of service and warranty work on, you know, Vipers and Hellcats and that sort of thing. And then adjacent to that, next door is BJ Motors, which has a bunch of supercars and Vipers and that sort of thing that they sell basically. It's like a used car dealership for a bunch of really nice cars. So we're gonna go back to the back and talk to Morgan, the Viper tech, or the service tech. And he actually said he's going to take a look at my Mustang and listen to the tick and see what he thinks about it. So that'll be interesting. You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Fire her up. That sounds pretty darn good, but from what he was saying, his neighbors aren't the happiest about that. So pretty much in this video, guys, we're gonna be installing a device that's essentially electronic cutouts. So his exhaust will go from extremely loud, dumped right out of the headers, to very quiet and stock with his stock exhaust put back on. So it should be pretty fun. I don't know all of the details about it. That's pretty loud. I can understand why his neighbors aren't happy about that. Alright, so here is what we are going to be installing, and by we I mean Morgan. So this is called a NOWEEDS, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Do they sell grass?
What?
Haha! Jokes.
No, it's a NOWEEDS diverter.
NOWEEDS diverter. All right, so essentially the whole concept behind this is an exhaust cutout. So pretty much your stock exhaust will have the option to flow kind of right out the, I guess it would go this way, out like the normal exhaust out your tailpipes, or you can choose to open some little valves inside and the exhaust will come out of this pipe right here, which will essentially be dumped right about up in that area right there. I guess here is what is all included in the packaging. You have a little wireless receiver here. So Morgan's gone ahead and marked pretty much where he's going to be making a cut, and then it should pretty much replace this section of pipe all the way up until the clamp. So that section right there will be replaced with the no weeds, no grass, no Roundup diverters. So as for the rest of Mr. Uzumaki's exhaust, it looks like he pretty much has it almost straight piped, a muffler delete, and then I guess the factory little resonators back here. So interesting. And then I think he also said he's going to put his stock mufflers back on. So the way he's going about doing this is it'll be super quiet when he has his stock mufflers and resonators on there, and then super loud when he just opens the cutouts. So Morgan has the driver's side installed. That is a rough estimate of what it should look like. We still have to wire it up and all that fun stuff. But as you can see, the passenger side is cut out there. So there's a missing gap. And interesting little fact about these things. So if you look inside, there's actually two flaps that will control which way the exhaust flow goes out of. So if it goes straight through, then that would be the cutout. And then as of right now, it would essentially be like stock exhaust. So kind of interesting. I thought it would just be like one flap right here. Update, wiring has begun somewhat. So apparently both sides go to that, which will, you have to actually drill a hole in your floorboard and kind of punch through the hole, and you'll have like a little receiver box inside the car. Is that the hole you drilled right here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Right there where that little rubber grommet is the hole that Morgan drilled. So not a big hole, but that's where you'll run the wires, and there'll be a little box inside the car. So we're gonna take a little time out now and go get some food. We're gonna take Mr. Uzumaki for a little ride in the Mustang and get his feedback, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Corsa, baby. So I guess the reason you're not going with like a Corsa catback system would be worried about the neighbors still complaining. Yeah, so I don't think Corsa makes an exhaust for the Challengers that have like the loud and quiet mode. Like I think the Mustangs they do, and I think the Camaros they do. So if you had a Mustang or Camaro, you'd be set.
Yeah.
But you're kind of on your own for that one. No, it's on 93.
Alright.
For now. Tomorrow it'll be on E. See, the nice thing about Corsa is when you're just cruising, no noise at all.
No, no drone at all.
And I mean, this is headers, catless, and then the Corsa Sport mufflers. Can I just do the number 3, the 12 count with a Dr. Pepper? I don't know if you can hear my engine ticking from there, but it was just doing it pretty good.
Oh man, I'm just in the moment, man. I'm riding with RP Production.
Yeah, we can blow up at any moment. Pretty sweet.
Is that what that is?
You're at RP's Natural Environment, Chick-fil-A.
So you ate Chick-fil-A for breakfast?
Unfortunately.
And Chick-fil-A for lunch?
Yep. We're gonna avoid it for dinner. Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't my, goal this morning to have Chick-fil-A twice, but oh well. Scared we were gonna pull a Mustang meme?
No. I'd say if anybody was the safest driver right now, it's you. So I didn't even do anything crazy. And even if it gets out of control, you know how to handle that, right? You went through the Bergerons driving school.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Dude, did you get a chance to do that?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I loved it. I wasn't expecting that pull. You had to pull it in. I almost panicked there, but.
It's faster on E for sure. I've only had one take of E through the car, and it made a very noticeable difference.
Back in the seat, man. Let's fight it. I'm braced this time. feeling never gets old.
It's pretty fun. It's not bad for a Mustang.
No, definitely not, man.
Just a regular 5.0 Mustang at that.
Isn't that a GT?
Well, yeah, GT 5.0, but it's not like a GT 500 or anything.
Okay.
So these come stock with 460 horsepower to the motor, and mine probably right now makes about 560.
Well, you picked up 100.
So I've picked up about 100 horsepower.
Just from the 85.
Doing headers, Corsa long tubes, catless, E85, and a JLT cold air intake. So like the very basic, you know, bolt-ons that would be probably anybody's first mods is what will gain you about 100 horsepower on a Mustang.
That is crazy.
Well, thank you for flying Mustang Airlines.
Oh yeah.
Hope you enjoyed your flight.
I definitely did. Didn't get airsick. We made it back safely.
Now back to exhaust install. All right, so a little time has gone by, and well, my dream car showed up right next to the Mustang just to tease me a little bit. But anyways, moving over back to the Hellcat. So we got the stock mufflers welded back up there. So stock mufflers, stock resonators. It's essentially a stock Hellcat exhaust, except for when you get up here, we have the NOWEEDS diverters. So we are about to start the thing up for the first time. We just have to finish up, you know, finding a power source from inside the car, which I'll show you in a minute. But I'm pretty excited to hear how it will sound with just a dumped exhaust. It should be pretty loud and also pretty quiet when you want it to be. So yeah, nice work, Morgan, here at Viper Exchange. Before we do our startup, Morgan, what have you found here for inside the car, if I can get a view?
Well, we've mounted the controller right here, right next to the ground.
Okay.
We've covered it. It doesn't have the same mounting locations as the instructions say, because the instructions are for an 08-09 Challenger.
That's nice.
But we're making do, and we're going to mount this here since he's going to have to push it.
So you get 3 buttons, I guess that's like loud, quiet, and then in between?
It's closed, midway, or halfway open, and then full open.
Okay, perfect. So those buttons right there will be the controller, and everything's just kind of
and that's pretty
drop
stout.
down.
I think that's going to work very well for him.
All right, so here we go with the first start. All right, so I believe that is like the stock exhaust with a cat delete. Oh, hey, that's a little louder. That is really weird. It's not only weird because of the sound, but it's weird because you can tell a big difference of where the sound's coming from. All right, well, let's see if we hear a crunch. Well, that's close. Oh, there it is, right there. That's pretty darn close to the ground. Well, I have now been instructed to drive Mr. Uzumaki's manual Hellcat with the new diverters and the E-level AccuAir system and a few modifications. So we'll talk about that here in a second, but here's kind of my view. And yeah, let's take it for a rip. Your clutch is heavy.
I know.
What'd you do to it?
Absolutely nothing. Remember, I got a new clutch after you drove it.
Is it aftermarket?
No.
That's stock?
That's stock, man.
Oh my.
I have some very strong calves. Make sure you lift it before you go anywhere.
Got it.
I figured you knew that, but I just wanted to double check.
Well, this is actually my first time driving a vehicle on air.
Really?
It is. I've ridden in one, Armani's once. First time driving it. It's been a while since I've driven a Hellcat, so it's ought to be fun. So we're in like quiet mode right now.
We are?
Alright. Man, it's so weird driving a freaking manual Hellcat. It's so drove your car the first time, I had no experience really in the others. But now that I have experience, this is nothing like anything else.
Good or bad?
Different. It's neither good nor bad, but it's just very different. It's cool though. Man, I forgot how big these cars are. It's cool though. People say that as a bad thing. I think it's cool. I think it's very cool that a car this big goes as fast as it does. That to me is like really impressive.
And you haven't even pressed on the gas yet. I love that.
I'm airing out on those haters. So for those who don't know, what all is done to your car? Are you comfortable sharing?
I am comfortable sharing that because, you know, I'm not competing with anybody. But right now I have E85.
Okay, can we roll these windows up? Maybe
yeah, sure
get some less noise.
All right, so I've converted to E85.
Okay.
I have an upper pulley and I have a tune, and I now have the NOWEEDS diverters,
right,
along with the AccuAir suspension, air ride suspension.
So your car made how much horsepower?
890 to the rear wheel.
That's wheel horsepower, not to the motor.
Correct.
To the wheels.
Yes.
So you are sitting at, to the motor, about 1,000 horsepower.
Which is perfect. My goal when I got the car was to have 900 horsepower, and we got pretty close. So, you know, a lot of people don't understand the Naruto thing, and most of your viewers may not understand, you know, the Naruto Uzumaki thing. But he has like this beast or this demon that's sealed inside him that he has to learn how to master, and that demon has 9 tails. So
that's where the 9's from.
Then that's where the 9 comes from. And I really wanted to have 900 horsepower to go with that 9 tails, and that's why my goal has always been to have 900 horsepower. And then since I'm such a newbie at this car thing, me learning how to master such a beast would be me putting in the hard work, going to the track, spending the money and the time and the research to learn how to master my Hellcat or my 9-tail fox.
And that all just made full circle there.
Yes.
Well, considering we're about to go underneath an overpass, I figured now would probably be the best time to open these suckers up. Where's the button at?
Button all the way to the left.
All the way to the left? Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
There's a motorcycle behind us revving at us. Oh my goodness, that's really loud.
I can just feel it shaking.
Well, that's highly illegal.
They probably could hear it, but
no, everybody in the zip code heard us.
Yeah.
You're gonna either deafen yourself or deafen others.
I'm gonna wake everybody up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it's crazy how loud these things are, and it's crazy to think how loud they are, but how quiet Dodge makes them.
Oh yeah.
When they're in stock form.
So let's say I lived in California. Do you think that this could benefit somebody in California who has a modified exhaust?
I mean,
like, I don't know. I'm just
think
asking.
if I lived in California, I probably wouldn't, just because of how strict they are.
Really?
But, I mean, I guess if you left it in the quiet mode almost all the time, and just use the loud mode very rarely on occasion, yeah, it could benefit you.
Do me a favor. Hit it.
Third gear?
Third. Go down to second if you want to. It's up to you. The place is right here.
Let's see how third does.
You actually scared me with that one.
Yo, your car is fast.
I was waiting for you to shift something.
Your car is very fast.
You think?
Oh, hello. That's your morning cup of coffee right there.
Oh yeah.
Forget a energy drink or coffee. You need a freaking Hellcat. That is insane.
So can we get Raleigh?
See, you're pulling into a car show and you're just like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, that's what's up right there.
Yeah. Listen to this. That is loud. And then
Nothing.
you would never know.
Nothing.
No, officer, that was not me with a loud exhaust. What are you talking about? I would never. And I guess technically you could combine this system with an aftermarket system like a Corsa system.
You can.
You just have to, you know, cut out a chunk of that system and get somebody to kind of fabricate everything to work together.
Wait, give it a rev before you go. Just rev it. Rev it. Just rev it.
Oh, wait.
Parking brakes over there.
Yep. You got a pedal. Yee, brother. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Outstanding.
So fun fact, just talked to the owner of this Gen 5 Viper, and it looks like we're going to be setting up a review on the channel soon with this thing. So be on the lookout for that. I'll put his Instagram up so you can go give him a follow, but absolutely beautiful Viper. The guy tracks it. I mean, he uses it like he should, so that's awesome. But I am extremely excited if I get the chance to drive that thing. Sounds a little bit different than some cutouts. I didn't realize how light my clutch was until I drove a Hellcat. This thing feels like I'm stepping on like a sponge. Never gets old. I'm still a child. So I told you guys at the very beginning of the video that I was going to have Morgan, the Viper tech who did all of the work on Mr. Uzumaki's Hellcat, take a look and listen to the sound of my piston slap, if that's what it is. So of course I pulled my car around back and tried to get him to listen to the sound, and of course the car was not making the sound today, which is very typical. But I did show him this video. Which is what my car sounded like at one point last month, and he said to him, just by judging off the sound, that it does sound like piston slap. To him, it wouldn't be like lifter noise because you would hear that from the top. It's coming from the bottom. So he believes that it would be piston slap. He said that it's not exactly super detrimental to the motor. He said what I really need to be watching out for and be careful of is oil consumption. If I start seeing the car eat through a lot of oil, that's when I know that it might start to be like a bigger problem. Oh my, the traffic. Sick. Great, now I get to sit here for like 30 minutes. But yeah, as I was saying, just basically really watch out for oil consumption, and if I start to notice that, then, you know, stuff might be going south. But until that happens, then, you know, just kind of treat it like normal and everything should be okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Now I can't remember exactly how many miles it's been since I put the JLT Alright. Since I put the JLT cold air intake, the Corsa long tube headers, and the Lund Racing tune. I think it's been almost 1,000 miles already, which has been, that's gone quick. We're currently sitting here at 9,600 miles, and then after this weekend when I drive back to San Antonio, it'll be about 10,000 miles. Then I'm coming back the following weekend, so then we'll be at like 10,000, probably 300 or 400 miles. So yeah, I add up my miles pretty quick on the cars that I own and drive. But honestly, since doing everything, it has been flawless. As I said, like I think at the very beginning of this video, the car's been through one tank of E85, like a mix, and then tomorrow it's gonna be on pure E85, so we'll get to see how that does. And then I really want to put it on a dyno and see just how much power this car will actually put down to the rear wheels. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 wheel with the E85R tune. But just being on the flex fuel tune right now, which is what I'm currently on, it definitely feels pretty healthy, and it's definitely a good amount of power, and it feels pretty good. Unfortunately, my GoPro ran out of battery at this point, so no more GoPro footage from the car. But I figured I'd give you guys a little closing segment here in my room. Be sure to go check out Wuri Uzumaki on YouTube. I really appreciate him letting me come out there today and film this video on his car. I think that he's, you know, going to be posting updated videos on the longevity and all that stuff of the diverters, so you can, you know, go check in with his channel, see all the other stuff that he's posted in the past and for the future. And then also, if you're in need of any type of like service or warranty work, or you want to modify your Viper or something and add a whole bunch of horsepower, hit up Viper Exchange. They do a whole bunch of stuff. They offer a bunch of services and also like sales and stuff. So hit them up, tell them RP sent you. They do their stuff by appointment only, so don't just like show up and expect, hey, fix it or do something. So just give them a heads up and they'll set you up with an appointment and stuff. But that pretty much wraps up today's video, guys. So I've got a couple stuff coming this next week that should be very fun, and possibly some very like life-changing news that's might be coming in the next couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that as well. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.